Imagine having to lead a newly formed young country on your own, with only a vice president and a few cabinets to help. You would have to figure out which laws are constitutional or not. You would also have to figure out how to budget the country's money. Most importantly, you have to know how to make the country better. This is a hard job, no doubt, which is why only a few people can perfect it. These people have become known as the most influential presidents in the history of the United States. The most influential presidents are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Abraham Lincoln, due to their amazing contributions to the country. George Washington, the first president of the USA, is one of the most influential presidents due to many of his great accomplishments. To start, Washington led the Patriots in the Revolutionary War, leading them to become an independent country. If he led the country to independence, he should be able to lead them to success as well. To add on to that fact, while he was leading the army, he paid his soldiers with his own money so that they would continue to work hard. This shows how committed he was to America, and he continued to be committed while he was president. Also, George Washington, being the first president, helped set guidelines for next presidents to come, so he didn't have to live up to any expectations that other presidents had set. George Washington did a phenomenal job of setting guidelines for future presidents and helping to shape a basic government. He helped start the country, but he also helped to keep it alive. George Washington had to form a new government on his own, making its institutions, offices, and political parties. This could not have been an easy thing to do. Pursuing this further, Washington helped pick the first federal judges, he agreed to laws to start a basic government, and most importantly, he kept the U.S. out of wars with Native Americans. Also, Washington was able to put down the Whiskey Rebellion to keep taxes on whiskey so the country could keep getting money to survive as a young nation. Washington did a great job of keeping the country neutral and out of wars during his presidency, which helped the country save money and soldiers. In 1791, he created the Bill of Rights, starting our government off of some basic laws. Despite Washington's great contributions to America, Thomas Jefferson also did a great job in shaping the country. Another very influential president is Thomas Jefferson. He helped form the country in many ways, which were important to America. First, Thomas Jefferson was the brilliant mind behind the Declaration of Independence, which stated that the colonies would become their own nation. Also, he was a part of the Second Continental Congress, deciding that the colonies would break away from England. He did many things to help the U.S. become an independent country that no other person could have dreamed of doing. Jefferson sent Lewis and Clark on a journey to the west to see what new land he had acquired in the Louisiana Purchase. By buying this land, he doubled the size of America for just $15 million. It was pretty much a steal. To add, he was a great inventor, architect, musician, and scientist in his time. He had many different talents that he could put into his work as a president. Moving on, Jefferson liked the idea of public education, which was free, which was an idea that no one even considered at his time. He also supported religious freedom and insisted in making America's diversity between churches and the state. In addition, Thomas Jefferson thought the freedom of speech was necessary, which gave the idea of being able to say whatever you think. Jefferson had many beliefs that he spoke out about that helped the country become better and freer. Jefferson had many more great accomplishments. He lessened the taxes but lowered the amount of national debt at the same time. Not many people are able to do that. Jefferson led the states in their first declared war that fought with North African pirates. Very importantly, he didn't let slaves to be traded into America in 1808. This allowed people to see that first, slavery was not going to last forever, and second, slavery was wrong and people were starting to notice it. Also, his library became the start of the nation's Library of Congress after he was dead. Finally, he is the only president who made a huge college, the University of Virginia. Thomas Jefferson is responsible for a lot of the country's development, but Abraham Lincoln really helped with America's future. Finally, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, is one of the most influential for many reasons. He had changed the country forever. First, he was the first president to be born outside of the original 13 colonies. He had finally started a new trend. Pursuing this further, he received a telegram from a different continent which no other president had received before. Lincoln was the first to do many things as a president because he was daring enough to take the risks. The fact that he could take risks that no other president wanted to take is what made him so different from every other president of the United States. Lincoln made the Army and Navy bigger, giving the country more protection. Lincoln accomplished many good things during his presidency. On the other hand, he also broke many laws, but they were also for good reasons. For one, he started war without declaring it, although it could have been for a good reason for the country to go straight to war because the situation had to have been bad. In addition, he signed the Enrollment Act when he needed to get more soldiers to fight for him. He made the military forces a lot stronger during his time, making the country even stronger and safer than it already was. Lincoln let all slaves free in 1862 after making the Emancipation Proclamation. This changed the way people looked at the country forever. This event could have been one of the most important times in the history of America. He was also the first president to be assassinated. This opened people's eyes, so now presidents are a lot more protected. Abraham Lincoln is one of the most influential presidents due to everything that he accomplished for the USA. Without a doubt, America has had many great presidents, although there aren't many that stand out above all else. George Washington, being the first president, did a lot to shape their government and start the new nation. Thomas Jefferson helped to expand the country and help it grow to get better, making him very impactful. Abraham Lincoln did something that no other president would dare to do, ban slavery. All of these presidents have influenced the U.S. greatly, making them the most influential presidents in the history of the United States of America.